Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I know that I said that we were going to do a fall planting video next, but I wanted to quickly show you some seed starting options. So let's just get started. Over here we've got some obvious options, which are the toilet paper rolls. Paper towel rolls work just as well. You just cut them down. Folding the bottoms. Okay, and the way I do that is I snip on both sides just a little. Part like this so that I can create like some flaps to fold in. So then I'm going to fold those two flaps in like that, and then the sides fold down like that. Now once this is wet, it'll act right, but that's pretty much it. And then you can plant this whole thing in the ground. So these are ideal for things that are have sensitive root systems, things that you normally would not transplant, like beets or carrots or maybe turnips, radishes, things that normally would not transplant well. I would start in something like this. Okay, and then these are like empty containers for like mushrooms. I believe there was mushrooms in here, and I just washed it out, and I'm going to use it as a tray. So then you just take your toilet paper rolls and you line them up in your little tray, and then you've got a seed starting tray, all from things that you already have. Simple. Okay. Over here, milk cartons. My kids are getting these from a summer program through the school, and they get, I don't know, like 10, 15 of these a week. These are recyclable. And the only thing I would suggest is putting a few drainage holes in here, because these are not meant to allow drainage. So even though they're paper and they will break down eventually, they're not going to break down anytime quickly. Yeah, I would just make some drainage holes in there. So that's another option. You can always go with the pots that you got from your nursery. Did you get seeds from a nursery this year? You can reuse those pots. These were strawberries that I got once upon a time. I don't know if that was this year or previous year, but I've got a few of these. And the only thing with reusing your pots, these little seed trays, they come in like all different sizes depending on what you have on hand or whatever you bought, what type of plant it was. The only thing I would recommend with these is cleaning them first, because you don't know, like say perhaps the plants that you bought didn't do well. You don't know why they didn't do well. Could have been something on your part, or it could have been a bacteria that was in the potting soil that they used. And if you don't know that for sure, you don't want to take any chances, so you have to clean these out. And I would suggest a peroxide solution, just the 3% hydrogen peroxide with some water in like a basin or something, or bucket, or like I have this that I've had for years and years. It's already cracking and breaking, but yeah, you can fill this up with water, put some peroxide in there, and just let these soak in there for a day or two, and then rinse them well. and you're good to go. So that was another option. There's always things like milk cartons, milk jugs. If you're going to be keeping these plants for a while, which I would suggest if you're going to be starting fall seeds indoors like I am, I want to try to use bigger containers because they're going to be in those containers for quite a while. So the bigger the container, the better, depending on the plant, okay? Some plants don't need a lot of space, so you have to be the judge of whatever that plant is. I've got some 2-liter bottles, some almond milk jugs, and these work in a few different ways. You can just cut the top right off, put some drainage holes in the bottom, or you can turn it sideways and you can cut the top part off, put some drainage holes in the side, and then you've got a horizontal little planter. Okay, this is just an empty mayonnaise jar. I can put some holes in the bottom of this if I don't need the lid. Just, you know what I mean? You've got lots of resources on hand that you just have to look for. Another easy and biodegradable option is paper, newspaper. If you want to make paper pots, I would suggest taking one of your toilet paper rolls before you use them, and you just roll your paper like that. Okay, just roll it around, cut it. You could probably make 2 out of this one. Find your ending point and then go just maybe a 1/2 inch more on that. All right, then you just do your folding. Fold both sides, fold, fold, and then take your roll out. And then I would suggest folding the top, that 1/2 inch that you had created extra. Fold that top, and then you've got some paper pots. And these also will go right into the ground, and you don't even have to worry about it breaking down. It'll break down quicker than the paper towel rolls. And you can use the same method with paper bags. If you got paper bags on hand, take your toilet paper roll, roll it up on your paper bag, cut it, do the folding, and there you have it. So there's a lot of options for making your own seed starting containers, and also keeping it easy, keeping it inexpensive. You can use other things like yogurt cups, pudding cups, applesauce cups, what else? Smaller, maybe individual sized water bottles. You can cut the tops off of those. I've done that before. K-cups, you can use K-cups, but they don't have a lot of space for the seeds to grow. So unless you're going to be transplanting those things right away, I wouldn't recommend K-cups, because they just don't give you a lot of space for the seeds to grow. And then eggshells, I've seen some people use eggshells as seed starts, but then again, the eggshell doesn't give you much space. And when you're starting fall seeds, you have to keep them indoors for a lengthy amount of time before you can put them outside. So you want your containers to be big enough to keep those seeds for at least 6 weeks. All right, so like these little ones, I don't even think I'm going to be able to use these because 6 weeks is a long time to keep a seedling in a little tray like this. So I probably would go with something at least, you know, at least the size of this toilet paper roll, you know, because this offers more space than this. Just a little bit more, but that little bit makes a difference. Okay. So that's about it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys before we get into our fall planting. So I hope you liked the video. Like, subscribe. Until next time, the more you know, the more you grow. Bye.